Hello, everyone. I'm Alan Keller. Welcome to Zuma's first ever on-demand webinar. Great to have you here. Every week, I talk with property managers and leasing teams who are all facing the same challenges, right? We're all trying to do more with less, trying to meet ever-rising resident expectations, and trying to convert more leads into leases. And today, we're going to explore how AI is completely transforming these challenges and opening up new opportunities. So whether you're just starting to explore AI or you're ready to take the next step, you're about to discover some really game-changing insights that could transform the approach for your property management company. Great. So what are we going to be looking at today? First, we're going to be talking about the three biggest challenges that property management companies are facing today. We're going to be talking about AI transformation and what that means in our industry, the power of what Zuma can bring to the table, and a couple of key takeaways. So before we start, just a couple of words about myself. So I'm the Vice President of Sales and Success here at Zuma. And I run two primary teams. The first is our sales organization, in which I'm having conversations with PMCs all around the nation all day long. So I get a front row seat into interviewing leaders all across the nation and hearing about their challenges each and every day. The second team that I lead is our success organization. So that's the team responsible for implementation, onboarding, training, and ensuring that Zuma is delivering ongoing value. On that side of the fence, I get to see day in, day out the impact that AI is making, challenges, misconceptions that folks may make, and lots of opportunities for PMCs to do better. At Zuma, we work closely with hundreds of multifamily marketing leaders, property managers. These are the three biggest challenges that we continue to hear from these teams day in, day out. Operational efficiency gap. What is that? Your teams are stuck in an endless cycle of repetitive tasks. They're spending their day buried in spreadsheets, manual data entry, responding to text messages, picking up phone calls, responding to emails, fixing leaky sinks, collecting rent, you name it. It's just sort of an endless list of tasks instead of building really deep, meaningful relationships with prospective residents and adding value to your PMC. If we think about the expectations of the resident, the expectations are 24/7, always on. I want everything at my fingertips, because today's residents live, just like we live, in an always on world where Amazon delivers in a couple of hours, Netflix knows exactly when they want to watch next, and I can get any choice of cuisine delivered to my doorstep in probably 30 minutes. Those residents expect the same from their property management team, right? The new standard is digital, it's immediate, and it's completely seamless. The next challenge we hear about is lead to lease. The reality is top of the funnel is always taking our mind share. We need to hit those occupancy goals. And how do we do it? We drive more leads and we're spending more money. The lead to lease conversion, that entire funnel, can be optimized, and it's an amazing use of AI. So your marketing dollars are bringing in those leads, but you watch that conversion rate plummet. And why is that the case? The reality is your leasing team is juggling between multiple communication channels. Your leasing team isn't working all the time. They're also busy with millions of other tasks. So we're seeing delayed responses and therefore inconsistent follow-ups. It's not delivering that 24/7 immediate gratification that a prospective resident is looking for. But the good news is that AI can help you address each of these challenges, that they all feed into each other to ultimately help you increase your marketing ROI and drive more leases. So how does AI specifically address these challenges? If your team could focus just on residents, showing a great tour, having a quality conversation, sitting down for 20 minutes and talking about what it's like to live here and does this meet your needs? What if they could do that instead of spreadsheets and worrying about unanswered voicemails and handling this cacophony of inbound noise? What if your property could truly operate 24/7? Let's dig deeper into each of these things. So let's start with the challenge that's really crushing the team and plummeting their productivity. It's this endless cycle of manual tasks. AI can do basic stuff, right? We can ask it a question. It can go and do a bunch of research and come back with reasonable answers. And your teams might be already using ChatGPT to help them with content creation, writing SMSs or following up. Zuma has built an AI that can fully handle email, text, and voice responses and have very natural human conversations. So, what does that conversation ultimately get us? It gets us a scheduled tour, it gets us pre qualification of leads, it gets an emotional response built between your community and a prospective resident. With these dedicated coworkers that we're building, specifically for multifamily use cases, this is really where we start to see the impact. So here's a real example that I want to give you. One of Zuma's clients was spending 4 hours every Monday morning just updating and going through all of their weekend inquiries. Now, our AI assistant is handling all of those inquiries in real time 24/7. So their team comes in Monday morning to a batch of pre qualified leads and scheduled tours instead of 4 hours of playing catch up. And this is how much time we've saved for their entire team this year alone. So, a theme that you will see throughout this presentation is that it isn't about replacing the team. What it's about is elevating the team. When AI is handling those low level, repetitive tasks, it allows your team to focus on what they do best, which is building relationships, solving complicated problems, and creating really amazing resident experiences. So, let's talk about those leaky leads, those leads that are falling out of your funnel. I want to start by sharing some really, really eye opening data with you all. So, we did an analysis on the likelihood of a prospective resident responding to an SMS engagement based on response time by the community on site. So we tracked tens of thousands of conversations, and we found that responding to a text or an engagement in less than 20 minutes, actually 18 to be precise, increases the likelihood of response by 23%. If you wait longer than 90 minutes, you are 50% less likely to hear back from that prospect. So leads are just falling out through lack of response. So that means that up to 50% of your marketing spend is essentially being thrown away. How do we fix that? Today's residents are expecting instant gratification, and it all boils down to one thing: making decisions fast, completely frictionless throughout the entire journey. Friction means having to wait too long for a response. It means having to use a bunch of channels to communicate. I leave a voicemail, nobody gets back to me. I send an email, the email says to send a voicemail. So finally I get somebody's number and I send them a text. Now, obviously you could get your onsite teams to handle all of these different tasks. But remember, the more time they're spending on making themselves incredibly responsive across all of these different channels, the less time they're actually spending on building deep relationships. And if you don't spend more time delivering really excellent experiences to tenants, your marketing ROI is going to go down the drain. And let's face it, this entire webinar all boils down to ROI. You already know that your teams are spending way too much time on mundane, repetitive tasks, and you know that renters want speed and ease throughout the entire journey. So what we're looking to do is find that sweet spot between these two, and you'll be turning all of those missed opportunities into deals. So let's look at some stats. We found that properties using Zuma's AI leasing assistant are seeing, on average, a 2-minute response time, 24/7. So if you want to chat with Kelsey, our AI leasing assistant, on Thursday night at 3 a.m., she's working and she's happy to have a conversation with you about what it's like living in our community. We see, as a result, 2.4x higher lead to tour conversions rate, 240% increase. It's an amazing stat that warrants me saying it twice. We see a 53% improvement in overall responsiveness and consistent engagement across all channels. If you can imagine what those stats might do for your PMC, you might find them quite transformative. I won't go into all the details of how it works because this is not meant to be a product demo. But if you want to learn more, just shoot me a note and I'll leave my contact info on the final slide. Now, I know the elephant in the room might be, hey, is AI going to replace my team? The answer is no. We really think of AI as an Iron Man suit. It doesn't replace Tony Stark. It makes him a lot more powerful. Your team's expertise, their emotional intelligence, their buy-in into the culture that we're creating and the vibe that we're giving to prospective residents and existing residents, their problem-solving abilities are more valuable than ever. And AI is here to give them the space to do exactly that. A property manager recently told us that Zuma helped us increase our response rates by 30% and improve our lead to tour conversions by 20 to 30%. So that's the kind of impact that we hope AI tools like Zuma can help you make. So as we wrap up, let me leave you with these three key thoughts. Number one, the multifamily is changing really, really rapidly, right? Technology, all of our expectations of companies are changing incredibly rapidly, and resident expectations are never going back to what they were in the quote unquote old days, right? The old way of doing things. The sooner that we embrace that and we believe it and we start acting accordingly, the better our companies will all be. Number two, AI isn't about replacing your team. It's about empowering them to do more meaningful work. Number three, the properties that adapt now are going to have a really, really significant competitive advantage in the years to come. Early adopters are going to set the tone for what a good resident or prospective resident experience will look like. Those early adopters will only continue to extend their lead. So whether you're ready to dive in or just watching this webinar to learn something, we're here to help guide you through the process. So if you'd like to speak to us about how AI can help increase your marketing ROI, drop me a message, hit me up on LinkedIn. This is just the first webinar that we're going to be sharing with you, so feel free to send me a message. Any feedback that you might have, let me know what you'd like to see next. And I really hope that you had a couple of key takeaways from this. So thank you so much for watching. Good luck. We'll see you out there.